All right, we have a lot to talk about. The Tigers just completely destroyed the Colorado Rockies in a doubleheader for both games, and so much happened in both these games. And I'm going to start with the first game, and I'm going to start with talking about Casey Mize. Casey Mize on the season is currently 6-1, and you can see why he was drafted number one overall after how well he's been doing. He pitched 6 innings today, giving up only 1 earned run and 3 hits, had 0 walks and 8 strikeouts. So just a total gem of a performance, really. And there's not really much else you can realistically expect him to do better. And it was just so nice to see him continuing his hot start to the season. And it does seem like he's really coming into his potential and really fully realizing what he can be as a pitcher. But that was the one side for the Tigers that was going well. The final score of this game was 10-2. And how did they get 10 runs, right? Well, you scored 9 of them in the first 3 innings. You had a 5-run second inning, and a lot of that was due to, again, the hot bats of the Tigers lineup. But my goodness, are the Rockies just a really bad team? They had some really bad errors in this game, and scoring 10 runs while not even getting a single home run across the board is definitely a testament to how the Tigers are a complete lineup, and they don't have to rely on a long shot from one of their star players or whatever to get runs across. But there was also some really bad defense from the Rockies. How does that ball get thrown to home and then completely just get away from the catcher? I have no idea. But a lot of guys had multi-hit games. Justin Henry Malloy, Gleyber Torres, Andy Ibanez, Spencer Torkelson, and Javi Baez. Oh, and Trey Sweeney. 6 guys had at least 2 hits today. And, there's not really much else you can ask for. And it makes sense why this game got out of hand so quickly. And it was a great start to this doubleheader. But it always seems like in the first game of a doubleheader, if a team wins by a ton of runs, that they always come out flat in the second one. But that was not the case at all. Game 2 went even better for them. And there was so much that happened with this game. Colorado did get on the board first, getting a run across in the second inning. But that was quickly overcome with 6 runs in the third inning. And there was so much that happened. And I feel like I'm jumping around as I give this recap of both games, really. But it's just so much to talk about. Spencer Torkelson had 3 hits in this game, and he already had 2 hits in the first game. And he wasn't even really the main story of this team offensively, though, because 29-year-old Brewer Hicklen, who's getting his first start of the season and has waited a long time for this moment. He had 2 hits today and 2 runs, which is just crazy to have that kind of performance in what is essentially your first major league start. Defensively, the team looked good, and pitching-wise, Keider Montero went 8 innings today, only giving up 5 hits, 1 run, had 3 walks, and only 2 strikeouts, but to go 8 innings and giving up 1 run, there's nothing more you can really ask for. When deciding for who should be player of the game for both these games, it's especially hard in the second one. I decided to go with Casey Mize for player of the game in the first one. Again, his start was just amazing. And it's really hard to deny just how well he was able to set the tone. And you can say that, pitching when you're up 9 runs is a lot easier, but you still got to give him some credit. That was a great performance from Casey Mize. For the second game, you could pick just about anybody to be the player of the game. Colt Keith had a towering home run. Gleyber Torres had a 3-run double. Spencer Torkelson had 3 hits. Keider had a great performance on the mound. But I think I am going to give it to Brewer Hicklen, which might seem a little crazy, but for him to step up and basically start a game where he was expected to do nothing and get 2 hits and 2 runs across the board for us, that's very impressive, and I'm going to give him player of the game just for that. But you could pretty much choose about anybody from this game. Tigers complete the sweep over the Colorado Rockies in an offensive showing throughout the entire series. They look forward to taking on the Rangers in another home series. Thank you for listening, and go Tigers!